Welcome back to Hunting with Cannons. This morning is a cold morning, but we're going to get Sam's little 6-point here, nice mature 6-point buck. We've caped him out for a shoulder mount. This is about how much hide you need. You need to keep the brisket when you field dress the deer. Don't split his brisket. Come down the inside of his front legs and all the way up. You keep about half of the hide for a good shoulder mount. Now to cape him out, we're going to start here at the back, and if you'll zoom in here, Cannon, I'll show you the cuts we're going to make. This will make for what's called a seamless mount, so that we're not splitting all the way down the back. We're just going to make an incision from the base of the horns on both sides, and we're going to cut a V right down to the base of his skull this direction, and then we're going to make about a 4 to 6 inch cut right down the back of his neck, and that will enable us to eventually turn the neck wrong side out and skin it, so that when the taxidermist mounts it, the only place there'll be any stitches will be in this area here, this V right here, and then right down the back of the neck, and it will not show once it's mounted on the wall. So we got him all tagged up here and legal, and we're getting ready to take his cape off for a good nice shoulder wall mount. So we've got our initial V cut made from the corner of the antlers, and this hide is on top of the head is very tough, so you got to be real careful. Now that we've got this opened up, we're going to come down the back of the neck right here. And of course I skinned down to the neck real close, so there we are at the base of the neck that's inside, and now we're going to start taking it off. We have to be real careful going around the horns. Most taxidermists would prefer to do this themselves, and I've been doing taxidermy work for over 50 years, doing our own work, so I'm going to probably just put this cape in the freezer for an extra cape. Somebody's always needing an extra cape. And we're going to do a European skull mount on these antlers for Sam. So we've got our initial cuts made, and I need to pay more attention to what we're doing around these horns just for a little bit. It's always a good rule, if you can, always keep the point and the blade of your knife pointing away from your body and your fingers. Then when you get to this point right here, as you can tell, you can't go any further till you take the ears off at the butt of the ear. So you want to cut through here, and you just have to get a feel for this, or you can slice through and cut your finger on the other side. But there you can see we've cut the ear off at its base, and then we just continue to make these cuts along through here. I still got to do some work right here on the base of the antler. There we go. Loosened it up. You need a good sharp point blade right here to work around the antlers. But we're making progress. Okay, I've removed both of the ears, and I've skinned around the antlers, and now I'm going to start opening up and get this neck where I can go ahead and take off the hide around the eyes and the nose and the mouth. But this is part of the process of doing a seamless mount, and I'll guarantee you it makes the taxidermist happy, and it makes for a really nice looking mount as well. Okay, now we've removed the hide from around the horns and the ears, and we're coming down the back, the inside of the neck, but we've reached a crucial point, and that is we're right here at the back corner of the eyelid, and I generally like to put my finger right in there and cut carefully so that you don't cut anything around the eye. You're right here on a bony section right here around the eye. That was a good cut around that eyelid. Like to put my finger in there right there and get a little pressure so you can make sure you're pulling this away from this eye socket and down into this tear duct that's right in front of the eye, and try to get all that out without cutting any holes in it. It makes for better work. So we've got that one done. Now we'll turn it over and do this other side. There's the bone that surrounds the eye, and you can begin to see this is very thin right here at the eye itself, and so you cut that like so. And done with that one. We've taken everything off of the deer, and we're down to his nose and lips, and we're just going to keep working our way down. We're really at the back of his lips right now, and this is where we'll go ahead and cut through this right here, which will free up the back of his lips, and proceed to keep cutting. So here we are at the back of his lips on the left side, coming down off the front of his nose. The skin is pretty thin around these lips and on the face. You can also at this point kind of get your finger inside the mouth and start cutting on these lips this way. All this will have to be fleshed off before the deer can be tanned, all this inside of the mouth. Usually at this point I'll go ahead and slip that back on and make a few cuts right under the nose and start taking this off from the inside. Some people prefer to skin, to do the whole skinning process, at least on the lips, from the outside in, as opposed to the turning him inside out. It certainly doesn't hurt to do some of it that way, because this is a crucial part on the deer. For a good mount, you want a good facial expression, which means nose and lips and eyes and ears. The pose of those make all the difference in the world in how your mount turns out. So at this point I'm going to go back from the inside, and we're just about there. Just about there. So we got his nose off and we're down to the last cut, Sam. There we go. So there's your cape ready for the taxidermist. If you're in the field and it's warm, the best thing you can do is to salt this hide, make sure it dries out real good. Otherwise, I like to just roll them up with the nose and lips and ears on the inside so they don't get freezer burned, and generally just tuck that all in, roll it up a nice package like this, put it in a couple of plastic bags, put it in the freezer until you can get it to the taxidermist. And if you're going to do your own work on the skull for a European mount, then he's ready now to take this part off the back of the neck and boil him in water with little 20 mule team borax, and you can put that in with your boiling and it helps to get the meat off a little easier. But there's really not a, to my knowledge, there's not a fast, easy, quick fix of boiling out a skull. You just got to boil it until the meat can come off, and you have to do a lot of scraping and working. Some people will power wash that off, and I like to maybe do a second boil and put about a cup or two of bleach and some more 20 mule team borax to get the fat and stuff out of the bone. And then after I get him all clean, I will coat him with 40% hydrogen peroxide that you can buy at any beauty supply store, and leave that on there for a couple of days and it will bleach it out beautiful. And I'll show you one of those in just a moment, how they turn out. This is what the skull looks like now that we've taken the cape off, and it's ready for boiling and bleaching. And in a matter of a couple of days, with a few hours investment, you'll end up with a nice European skull mount. This is one that we took over at our place in Arkansas a few weeks back. Nice little 8-point. So that completes our introduction to a little bit of work that every deer hunter can do on their own, saving their trophies to put on the wall and to enjoy the memories over the years of a wonderful hunt, time with family, a wonderful time in God's beautiful creation, and memories that will last a lifetime.